For me, this has to be one of the biggest WordPress updates since we got the block builder a few years ago. It's not as big as that, but since then, it's probably the most significant update to WordPress, and it's coming right around the corner. I have broken it down to the 12 biggest changes coming to this version of WordPress. So if you're a WordPress user, this video is for you. Okay, so here is the post that's going to break down everything that's coming. So what's important here is the date. July 20th this is expected to be widely released, which is just a few weeks away. So it's good to know what's coming so that you can be prepared for it when it comes. Now, for your convenience, I've broken this video up into a table of contents. A lot of effort goes into doing that. So if that doesn't earn a thumbs up on this video right now, I don't know what will. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, you may be asking yourself, how the heck do I test the beta version? It's actually very simple. Don't do this on a live website because it might break some things. As a matter of fact, it's almost guaranteed to. What you'll want to do is set up a test WordPress website, maybe using local. It allows you to install WordPress on your local computer or some kind of test hosting that you have. Don't do this on a live site, but all you have to do is go to plugins, add new, and install this plugin that says WordPress Beta Tester. And this will allow you to get access to beta versions that you can test out. And you can see this isn't that widely used, 2,000 users, or it's only active on 2,000 different websites. And so those are probably mostly software plugin developers making sure that their stuff works with this new version of WordPress. So the first change is WordPress now is going to natively support WebP images. So currently you're usually adding a JPEG image, a GIF, one of those animated images, or a PNG when you need some transparency for the image. Well, WebP is going to be a replacement for JPEG and for PNG, which means it will also support transparent images that you can only do with PNGs. But the advantage is it's going to be a much smaller file size. So now you're going to be able to natively add WebP images to your WordPress website, whereas before you couldn't do it. You had to have a plugin to be able to take advantage of this new file format. Now, unfortunately, not all programs that let you export images will let you export to a WebP image. Right here is a website that I found, cloudconvert.com, and it will allow you to convert your whatever format your image is into a WebP. You can literally just go here and choose WebP, and you can easily convert your file across, and you're going to see that the file size is significantly smaller. But don't get excited yet. Here's another website that will show you the compatibility of WebP images, meaning which web browsers are going to be able to display the image and which ones are not. So you can see some important older browsers, they will not be able to take the WebP image and actually show it. So that includes Safari right here. So any version of Safari prior to 2020, it's not going to work with the WebP images by itself. Pretty much you're going to get wide support with Chrome and with Opera, and you can basically just come and visit this page right here and see what's compatible and what's not compatible. I'd imagine all browsers compatible moving forward. And you would add it just like you would add any other image. You would go ahead and do the image block. So I can type image. Here it is. I'll click on it. I'll click on media library like this and upload files, and you can just drag and drop it across. Right here is a WebP image that I've already uploaded. And so I can click on select, and there is my WebP image. The next few important changes are going to be related to the WordPress block builder, and I'm going to cover all of those right now. So the very first enhancement to the WordPress block builder, for me, it's a big deal, and that is the Gutenberg list view is what it's being called. And so when you click on this icon normally, it would pull a little drop down right here. It'd probably be similar in size to that, and it would show you a list of all the blocks that you're using, so you can click on one and quickly jump to it. Although it was such a tiny area, it was really not super useful. So now when you click on it, check it out. You get this full on list view of everything. So I can click right here and it highlights that. If I want to get to the button, I can clearly see here's the button and I can go right there and start editing the button. So I can easily get to what I want to get to. A lot of times what happens when you're using the block builder is there's layers to it. Whenever you're building any page, even with a traditional page builder, there's layers to what you're doing. So it might be hard to get the right layer. So for this section right here, and what you have here is you have all of these different layers and you want to be able to click on the right layer. This makes it easy to visually see it. And there's also a little hidden feature in here. So watch, I just clicked on this group and this is like a feature grid right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on advanced, and where it says HTML anchor, I'm going to enter something in here. I entered in FAQ, but did you notice over here on the left, right next to the group, it says FAQ. So I can put an HTML anchor into all of these various settings very easily, and that will make it easy when I'm looking in the list view. There we go. I just added it for this group as well. So I'm a big fan of the this new list view. It's going to make it easier when you're working with more complex layouts and layouts that have more content in it. The next thing is actually right here on a web page that I can't even really show you because it's not working properly. And it's going to be a design patterns library. And so this is actually a page, WordPress.com/patterns. It's not live yet, and you can see I'm not seeing the images of the patterns. That's okay though. So this is going to be a public library or directory of patterns that use the default WordPress block builder blocks, so they'll work on every single website. You'll be able to come here and literally click on copy and paste that design right on into your website, which I don't know if most people know. You can actually copy and paste site to site really easy with the block builder. It's one of the coolest things. So, okay, so it says right here, this is a pricing table. Unfortunately, the image is not rendering, and they got 6 weeks to dial this in and beef up the designs. So let me just go ahead and click on copy. So this is going to be the mystery design, and let's see if it works. Okay, back on my page, I'm going to go to the bottom of it right here. I'm going to click here and I'm just going to paste from my clipboard. And it looks like it's not working yet. Oh well, but it's coming. That's certainly awkward. Anyways, we already have some patterns in here. So when you click on the plus, there's this patterns tab right here, and they're all kind of filtered out into different categories. And you can just click on a pattern and it instantly gets added to the page. So this is pretty much the same thing, except you're going to be able to copy and paste it from that website. And they've got 5 weeks to make that thing happen. Next, there's been improvements to all of the default blocks to add some more color options and typography options and just make them more useful. I've always found that they're a bit limited. So this is a much welcomed improvement. So here I am on a heading block, and let's just see what's available now. So we've got fonts, we've got the size of the font, and here we have a bunch of color options, and this is being pulled in from the theme that I'm using. So you're going to see expanded options like this on a lot of the default blocks. I tend to not really use the default blocks that much, but this is a much welcomed improvement as well. The next improvement, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm not a designer, so they've added some, let's just call them filters to images, but they call it Duotone or Duotone, D-U-O-T-O-N-E. I don't know. I'm going to always pronounce things wrong. And you can do some flashy things to images. So here's that image I added earlier, the WebP image. And when I click on it, you can see there's a new icon here in the toolbar. And when I click on it, it's going to show me those right here. So basically, I can choose any of these put together color patterns right here, or I can change this however I want. I can go ahead and click and change one of these colors. Ooh, that's looking nasty. Well, I prefer, oh, we got shadows here as well. Look at that. All right. I'm going to clear that because I like my pizza looking normal, not radioactive, but I do like that they're adding these different effects that can be lightweight, and it's probably applied via CSS so that they'll give you more design options using what's built into WordPress. Now, the next improvement is actually really cool. There's a new block in town, and this is a PDF block. So now you can easily embed a PDF on your page, and there's options to give the visitor to download the PDF. It's actually quite nice. So I went ahead and printed a PDF of one of the websites for a product that I have. So let's go ahead and display that. So I'll just click on the plus here and I can start typing PDF, but it actually will say file. Now, when I click on it, it adds the block to the bottom. I'll click on media library right here, and I've already uploaded it. So I'll choose it, and it'd be nice if there was a preview, but you know, anyways, I'll click on select, and you can see right here is my embedded preview. I think that's really cool. Now, if I go off to the right and display the options, here are some options. So I can control the height of the viewer. If I want the download button, I can control whether I want to offer that as well. We have some nice options here. So let me just go ahead and do a quick update, and let's click on view page. Now this page is going to look horrible, but that's all right. So here's my PDF viewer, and you can see I'm able to scroll through the PDF just like that. And here is a download button, but that was optional as well. But we also have a toolbar up here for the different pages of the PDF, the size of the view, and all that kind of stuff, printing and all of that. Now, the next improvement is the nested block selector. I don't anticipate myself using this a lot, but who knows, maybe I'll surprise myself. So if I'm in this heading right here and I'm like, I want to be on the container or the layer underneath this, there's a real easy way of doing it. So in the toolbar here, there's this icon on the far left, and that will basically let me hit the layer underneath it. Now, there's already multiple ways of doing this. It might be kind of hard to see in the video, but if I'm here in the heading, you can see here on the bottom left, that's how I normally do it. There's sort of these breadcrumbs right here. So that's how I would normally do it. I don't know if I'm going to change my behavior on that, but that certainly is nice to just go here and then you're going up a layer. So when we go into that list view that I like, you can see there's lots of layers here, and that's where it will be the most useful. So let me click into this heading, and you can see I'm in the heading, but I want to go up. So I'm going to click right here, and it went up. You see that? It went from the heading to this. And now when I click it, it's going to go in again. It's going to go into the next layer underneath it, the column, and now to the column. So I can change all the properties and then up even more. And then I think I'm there. Wait, let's see. No, I'm one more. That's good. And one more. I'm at the very bottom of this hierarchy of the layout. It's actually pretty cool. I think I just changed my mind. I'm going to use this. The next change is how you create reusable blocks, just kind of the workflow of it. So let me just show you how it works. I'm going to choose this container right here, and in the toolbar, hidden under the three dots, is this option right here that says add to reusable blocks. Now, when I click on this, this is where it's different. So now we're going to name what this reusable block will be. I don't know, just name it page here or whatever. And then I'll click on save, and this is already converted over to the reusable block. You can see right here, here is that name that I've entered, and I'm pretty much set. So then when I click on update, everything is saved here. And what's interesting though is I can go here and I can change something to the reusable heading, and this will actually apply towards every place I'm using or I have this reusable block linked to. And if you notice something, when you see this update button here, now it has a little dot off to the left, and that's letting you know that there's a change to the page and a change to a reusable block. So when I click on save, now I'm here and it's saying, oh my, you made a change to the reusable block, and it's just confirming that. And then I'll click on save, and it's going to make a change there as well. And that's going to go across your website. Everything I just showed you is really awesome, and it's going to help with workflow and usability and all these things. I love it, but it's not the big things that I was alluding to at the beginning of the video. I mean, let's face it. And so I'm going to cover those bigger things now, these bigger items that can fundamentally change certain areas of WordPress and how it's used. So it's no secret, if you've been on the the channel that big changes, really big changes are ahead coming to WordPress for all users. And there's this feature set called theme building and building templates that you apply to different pages or posts on your website. This is coming in a big way later this year. I'm pretty sure later this year, like the later release that usually comes in November. But we have the glimpses of it now in the form of new blocks and some new features. And I'm going to show you all of that now. So now I'm going to show you the theme building blocks that are now part of the block builder. And what is exciting about this is you could use these anywhere on your website. So I'm going to give you an example of that here in a moment. So when I click on the plus and you're scrolling through the blocks, they're actually not separated out. So if I get down here to design, we're going to just start seeing some of them sprinkled in there. And whoa, look at this. We have the site logo. So wherever you use this, it'll show the site logo. And you typically see that in a header, right? The site logo. We've got the site tagline. That's another piece you might have in a header. We've got the site title. We've got a query loop, which I'll show you in a moment. We've got the post title, and we've got the post content, post date, post excerpt, post feature image. Oh my gosh, we got a log in, log out. We've got some navigation stuff here. I mean, this is the first glimpse of what theme building is going to be like. And we're actually going to get to see it a little deeper here. Now, on an individual page like this, it doesn't really make sense for me to add a logo, maybe a menu, or using some of these. I'm going to show you more on that in a moment. But if you're using, say, a pro theme that has kind of a hooks or an elements or whatever that theme names it feature, you can do some really cool stuff. This is the dynamic content stuff that you're now going to be able to do until the full-blown theme editing comes out. So let me give this an example here. So I'm using a pro theme. Most pro themes have this. The one I'm just using is Cadence theme in their pro version, and they call this hooks or whatever feature. They call it elements. Now, this isn't specific to Cadence theme, just so you know. This isn't a Cadence video or anything like that. I'm just using it as an example. If you're using a pro theme, most of the top pro themes already have this in there. So I'm just giving you an example. I'll go ahead and click on elements. I'll click on add new, and I'll click here where it says default, and I'll name this page header. Okay, and then I'll proceed to design a page header. So let's go ahead and use some of these new blocks that have come. So for a page header, I might want to have the page title. Here it is right there, post title, boom. It's going to show me, it's actually pulling it in, right? But when I insert this on certain parts of the website, it's going to just use that one. So we've got that, and then let's go ahead and let's put in something underneath it. So let's just go ahead and maybe just show some of the metadata, and let's just test this out and see how it works. Maybe I'll just pop in the excerpt there. That's fine. Maybe the post date. There we go. Now, obviously, I would design this, make it pretty and custom exactly how I would want it. So the way these work is you put your content in there, you design it, you make it pretty, and then there'll be something to the effect of this, right? Where I can decide where I want to place this, on what content and exactly what location where I'd like to place it. So I can go here and choose something. So I can choose this option right here, after header, which is where you'd usually see this at the top of the page. And then I'll choose my display settings. I want to show it on the entire site or just a particular page. Just for this example, I'll choose entire site. And for what users do you want to see this, I'll just choose all users, but there's some really cool stuff that you can do there with these rules. So let's just go ahead and click on publish, and take a look at the front end of the website. Okay, so here's the about page, and this is where the normal Gutenberg content is. But look, you can see there it is. I don't have an excerpt, and obviously I didn't style this or make this pretty, but you can see I can now make a header, kind of page header template design that I can insert, and I'm using all these dynamic elements that are coming from the content that I'm actually on. So you see how it says about, I can click on contact. Now it switches to content when this was published. Let me click on blog. Here's a blog post here, and I can just click on it, and there it is. So, and this one actually has an excerpt. So I could design it, not show the one that my theme is doing, do one that's fully customized now, pulling in this dynamic content. Okay, I know that wasn't the best visual example, but just forgive me. I'm making a quick video for you. All right, so that is huge. You can use these dynamic elements inside of your themes feature set now, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so next we have a query loop, and what a query loop is when you're, say, on a blog page. Let me show you what a query loop is. Okay, this is a query loop. I'm on the blog page, and it's showing me this loop here of the different content pieces that are on the site, right? These blog posts, and it's showing me information about them and letting me click into the blog post. This right here is called the loop, and now you can create these very easily inside of WordPress. Here I am back on the home page, and usually you do this on a home page. You might want to have this grid or a loop, a query loop of the different type of content on your website. So here I am. I'll go ahead and click on plus, and it was down here, right where it says query loop. There it is. I'll click on it, and here is my query loop right here. Now don't worry, there's lots of different ways of doing this and styling it. So I can go right here, and now we have it in a grid. Let's go ahead and show some of the styling options right here. Actually, what's really neat is every aspect of this is really customizable. So like, let me click on the right here on the title. So you can see it says post title. It's a query loop is kind of like all the little pieces of like the title, the featured image, the excerpt, and a button. And so we can customize this however we want. I can change the typography size. If I wanted it to be like 18 instead of whatever it is, I can easily do that. Right now it's coming from my theme. And then there's these various options, and the same thing goes for the image right there. And the same thing goes for the excerpt right here. You can customize this query loop out however you want to do that. And this is where the list view here comes into place, right? So right here, I can see now I've selected my query loop. And did you notice here on the right, there's all these filtering options. So right now it's showing blog posts, and I can choose my order. Is there sticky ones? Is there filters right here? It's all literally listed right here, and some colors as well. Now you're also going to want to pay attention to the toolbar here. So when I've clicked on the query loop, we've got options here. So I can show how many options per page. I've got offsets. Here's the grid. We've just got a whole bunch of options here. There we go. I usually do 6 or 9. I like a column of 3 like that. And here was my columns. But if I wanted to go 4 columns, we could do something like that. I like 3 columns, and you can see we have it there. Now, don't worry, I know this is looking funny. It's actually fully customizable, this query loop. You can easily create the query loop and design it how you want using these Gutenberg controls. Okay, the next 2 are big ones. First, widgets are now blocks, and you can use any block in the widget area, any block that you have. To me, this is a big deal. This is going to change a fundamental piece of WordPress and modernize it. So there's 2 ways to see your widgets. So I can go to Appearance and then click on Widgets. So this is one way of doing it. You can see right here. And it's this new block builder interface right here. Isn't that crazy? So let me collapse where it says sidebar 1. So these are the widget areas in my theme, 1 to footer 1 and inactive widgets. Every theme's going to have a different amount of widget areas. So you can just expand it here. And this is literally the block builder interface right here. You can see right there, I've got 3 legacy widgets in there. And I can get rid of it just using the normal editor, just like this. So let me go ahead and add a new block. Maybe I want to have a paragraph of text. Here is my paragraph of text, or maybe I want something else. I can choose anything from here, any block, and add it into a widget area. And to me, this just makes so much sense. It's a lot easier to do it this way than to have the rigid widgets that we had before. Now there's a second way to get to widgets, and that's inside of the customizer. Hopefully this works. I'm in the customizer and I'm going to go to widgets. Oh, I know it's going to say I'm not on a page with widgets where widget areas are enabled, but I am right here in a blog post, and it should be, there we go, sidebar 1. And here we are. It's the same experience. I'll click on got it. And this is kind of more scrunched in. I probably wouldn't prefer this. I would probably just use the backend part of WordPress for that. But you can do it here as well. Now, I know some people are going to hate it. And WordPress knows some people are going to hate it, even though all of your legacy widgets should work fine. So the solution is a plugin called Classic Widgets. Just like we had the Classic Editor when the big change to the block builder, now you've got Classic Widgets. And you can install this and it will keep the widget area how you're used to, and you can switch when you're ready to switch. And now we're on the last big change, and this is the new template editor. And so if you're coming from a page builder like Elementor that has a theme builder, and you can make templates that apply to posts or pages. Divi has it. Beaver Builder has it. It's called Beaver Themer. A lot of them have it. Now you can see I'm going to show you right now, it's a part of WordPress, and it's rough around the edge. I don't anticipate this being something that you'll be able to use right away because themes need to make adjustments for it. But this is literally a glimpse into what's just a few months away. So it's actually pretty cool. If I go into any page right here, you can see off to the right, we've got a little bit of page info, and then it says template, and it says default template. I can click on new, and it's going to take me into that editor. Let's do that. I'm going to click on new, and it says first, choose a name for this template layout. All right, and then I'm going to click on create, and then it's really slick. Did you see that? It takes us right on into it and kind of like zooms us out a little bit. And we have this blackish area here to let us know we're now in the template editor. And so this is where all of those page building, theme building blocks come into play. So this is like the content of the page. So I can start adding things around it. And if I've chosen this page template, it will insert those in there. So here, let me just do something simple. I'll go ahead and let me do a search for the site logo. There it is, site logo. So I'm going to go ahead and put that site logo right here. That's fine. I like it. Just an example. And so you can build what's around the page content. And when I click here, you can see this right here is just the post content. So when I go into the list view, you can see post content. And this is just all the content of the page that I'm on right now. So you can design what's around it. We've got the little dot here. I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And let's go ahead and exit this. So now when I click here, check it out. It says Adam's template right there, and I can select on it. And let me go ahead. Well, it looks like there's nothing to save here. I wanted to save something. Let's go ahead and view this. So I'm going to go to permalink and I'll click right here and let's see what it is. And there we have what is around the post content. And all I did was add this logo here, and I didn't style or do anything like that. So now if I went back to the default template, let me click on update. And let's do another view page. You can see it's back to how it was. So that is how you're going to create templates and edit templates and select templates. I know that was a lot, and that's why I did the table of contents and I tried to move through things very fast. I'm pretty excited about what the future holds for WordPress, and I like how they've done it here. I've got to say that. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens in 6 months when they go full blown with what they're calling full site editing. And I'm just excited for what the future holds. And I can see this as being very useful and powerful. And I totally encourage people to start getting used to the block builder. It ain't going nowhere. It's here to stay. And so we might as well just get used to using it. So I have a bunch of tutorials here on using the block editor to help you get comfortable with it. A lot of it is that new list view of knowing what you're editing, clicking into the right area, the right layer of what you're building. And it makes it really easy now with all of these enhancements. So that's it. Hook a brother up and give this video a thumbs up so more people will see this video. Share it on your social media platform so people can know what is coming and what is right around the corner. I invite you to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think about it down below, and I'll see you in the next one.